One of the new talking points you're going to hear the content creators or your family members or coworkers or folks of that nature who follow Trump, who worship Trump, who idol Trump. One of the new talking points that they're going to give you in the coming days is that Black Friday shopping is up thanks to Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself is posting about this on Truth Social. He's posting how great Black Friday is and how Black Friday is shopping is through the roof. We spent more on Black Friday. Thanks, President Trump. But as was the case with you're going to spend 25% less on your Thanksgiving dinner. Just look at this Walmart article. He didn't take into consideration all of the data, all of the information. Yes, Black Friday spending was up this year significantly. And we spent all of that money on fewer items. What does that tell you? Our spending is up because shit's more expensive. Black Friday shoppers spent billions despite wider economic uncertainty. Despite wider economic uncertainty hovering above this year's holiday season, shoppers turned out in big numbers for Black Friday, spending billions of dollars both in stores and online. Adobe Analytics, which tracks e-commerce, said U.S. consumers spent a record $11.8 billion online Friday, marking a 9.1% jump from last year. Traffic particularly piled up between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. local time nationwide, when 12.5 million passed through online shopping carts every minute. Consumers also spent a record $6.4 billion online on Thanksgiving Day per Adobe. Top categories that saw an uptick in sales across both days included video game consoles, electronics, and home appliances. Shopping services powered by artificial intelligence and social media advertising have also particularly influenced what consumers choose to buy, the firm said. Meanwhile, software company Salesforce estimated that Black Friday online sales totaled $18 billion in the U.S. and $79 billion globally. An e-commerce platform, Shopify, said its merchants raked in a record $6.2 billion in sales worldwide on Black Friday. At its peak, sales reached 5.1 million per minute, with top categories including cosmetics and clothing, according to the Canadian company. MasterCard Spending Plus, which tracks in-person and online spending, reported that overall Black Friday sales, excluding automotive, rose 4.1% from a year ago. The retail sales indicator, which is not adjusted for inflation, showed online sales jumped by double digits, 10.4%, while in-store purchases inched up 1.7%. Michelle Meyer, chief economist at the MasterCard Economics Institute, said customers are navigating an uncertain environment this holiday season by shopping early, leveraging promotions, and investing in wish list items. Black Friday is far from the sales event that created midnight mall crowds or doorbuster mayhem just decades ago. More and more consumers have instead turned to online deals to make post-Thanksgiving purchases from the comfort of their own homes, or opt to stretch out spending across longer promotions now offered by retailers. In-store traffic has dwindled over the years. Initial data from Retail Next, which measures real-time foot traffic in physical stores, found that U.S. Black Friday traffic fell 3.6% compared to 2024. Still, the firm noted that was notably better than a sharper 6.2% decline it saw in the days leading up to Thanksgiving. Sensormatic Solutions, which also tracks store traffic, found that in-store retail visits dipped 2.1%, but said that was in line with expectations and trends already seen this year. Traffic over the week of Black Friday was up nearly 57% compared to the week prior, per Sensormatic. Black Friday has really turned into like a full week event or even further, said Grant Gustafson, head of retail consulting and analytics at Sensormatic Solutions. And Black Friday is really just the start of a really and critical stretch for retailers, he added, noting that the weekend following Thanksgiving, as well as the days leading up to Christmas next month, will also be some of the busiest in terms of in-store traffic. Meanwhile, in terms of e-commerce, Adobe expects U.S. shoppers to spend another $5.5 billion Saturday and $5.9 billion on Sunday before reaching an estimated $14.2 billion peak on Cyber Monday, which would mark yet another record. Here's where it gets interesting. Here's where you got to pay attention to the whole article. Still, Rising prices could be contributing to some of those numbers. U.S. President Donald Trump's barrage of tariffs on foreign imports have strained businesses and households alike over the last year. And despite spending more overall, Salesforce found that U.S. shoppers purchased fewer items at checkout on Black Friday, down 2% from last year. Order volumes also slipped 1%, the firm noted, as average selling prices climbed 7%. So yeah, we spent a shit ton of money on Black Friday and on Cyber Saturday or Small Business Saturday and over the whole Thanksgiving weekend and Cyber Monday and all of that stuff. But we're buying fewer items with that money. We're spending more money and we're getting fewer items. So are we really better off? Is the economy really fantastic, or are we just spending more for the shit we would normally buy?